It's time for Kaufman Stigger FAQ.
Welcome back to Wave 3 Listens. No one wants to be in an automobile accident. I know that is obvious, but yet it is also obvious they happen every day. If you're in an accident, if a loved one is in an accident, then you need information because, yes, knowledge is power. I have expert advice from Kaufman Stigger injury lawyers. With me now, Jimmy and Matt Kaufman. We've got the guys with their name on the business, ladies and gentlemen. So I want to ask you guys a few questions. First of all, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, John. Thanks for having us.
Matt, I wanted to ask you, you guys deal with automobile victims every day. It's right. What you do for a living. So what would be helpful for our viewers to know if they happen to be involved in an automobile accident?
One thing to know is about your own insurance company. Your own personal policy actually provides a lot of protections for you, especially in events when you're hit by a driver who doesn't have insurance. So one of the types of coverage that you're going to need is collision coverage. That is what protects you if you're hit by a driver without insurance that pays for your vehicle damage. So you can get policies with $500 deductibles or $1,000 deductible, and it protects you in the event you're hit by an uninsured driver. It'll help you get your vehicle fixed. You can also get rental insurance, which will help you to get back and forth to work in the event of an accident caused by someone without insurance.
Okay. Jimmy, he touched upon this, but I'm going to get more specific with you. So if I'm talking to my insurance representative, my agent, and what kind of insurance should I ask for specifically?
Well, what he mentioned, definitely collision coverage. That does cover your vehicle in the event that you're in an accident with somebody, and there's disputed liability. I had a client call me this week who was upset because she was involved in an accident. We don't believe it was her fault. There was a witness that said it wasn't her fault, but the other driver is saying that it was her fault. And they've disputed whether they would have to pay to fix that vehicle. And so now it's because she does not have collision coverage, it's going to take a much longer time to get her vehicle taken care of, and she doesn't have the funds to repair or replace her vehicle, and she doesn't have that collision coverage.
Wow, that makes perfect sense, because I think we've all been in that situation before. You know it's not your fault, you're going to have to fight it. How can I ensure that I am still covered? Interesting. Are there any other questions, Matt, that perhaps we should ask our insurance agent or other information that we should know?
Right. On top of collision coverage, you're also going to want to make sure that you have uninsured motorist coverage. That's going to protect you in the event you're hit by an uninsured driver for your bodily injuries and your lost wages. So the difference between the collision coverage is that takes care of your property damage or your vehicle to get it fixed. The uninsured motorist coverage protects you for your bodily injuries, and it almost steps into the shoes of the at-fault driver. So you can't sue somebody, or you can still sue them, but it's very difficult to recover from somebody who doesn't have any assets. So if you are able to get this coverage, it'll step into the place and pay for your bodily injuries.
Wow. So if you would, Jimmy, tell me this. I think I'm the average Joe. A lot of our viewers are listening, and it's great to have expert advice. I really appreciate it. So with the increased cost that you're going to have with this type of insurance that we're talking about, is the return on investment worth it for viewers and for people like myself?
I definitely think it is. I think uninsured and underinsured are two of the best value coverages that you can get, because that's what protects you and your family in the case that you are hit by someone who is uninsured or underinsured. Now, Matt touched on uninsured drivers, which statistics show over 15% of people on the road are uninsured in Kentucky. But a greater percentage than that are underinsured. And that's because our minimum limits in Kentucky are $25,000 per person. So that means if you're hit by a person who has minimum limits, their coverage will only pay up to $25,000 for your injuries, for your lost wages. If you're in a severe accident that requires transport by an ambulance to a hospital, you undergo some MRI testing, you have to spend the night in the hospital, you're already at $25,000 in medical bills a lot of the time. So you want to make sure you have that underinsured motorist coverage to protect you in case you're hit by someone who is underinsured.
God forbid, and we don't wish this upon anyone, but if you are in an automobile accident, we're going to show some information on the screen. I encourage you to put this in your wallet, put it in your pocketbook. You need expert advice. You need someone who is looking out for you, and that is Kaufman and Stigger Injury Lawyers. I want to thank Jimmy and Matt for your expert advice. Thank you very, very much.
Thanks for having us.
And again, Kaufman and Stigger Injury Lawyers. Give them a call. We'll be right back on Wave 3 Listens Live.